Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. Long time no tutorial, I know, right? And today I'm going to show you how to manage your client's calendar. Yes, you can call it calendar management tutorial, where I'll be sharing my screen and show you how to manage your client's calendar effectively as a virtual assistant. And this skills is a must for every virtual assistant, and I've seen several virtual assistants losing their jobs because they could not manage their client's calendar effectively. Most CEOs, they don't have time to organize their schedule, and that is why they are paying you. Like, that's where you come in, and your job is to protect their time, plan their day, and make sure they only focus on what matters, because it's actually that calendar that actually guides them in their day-to-day activities, and we cannot do that well. Trust me, you're going to lose your job. And in today's video, I'm going to show you step by step. And if you're just coming across my page for the first time, my name is Omomi. I'm a virtual assistant, I'm a coach, and I'm also a content creator. And guys, we got monetized, yes. And thank you so very much. I'm so happy. Thank you for loving my video. And guys, don't forget to do what? To subscribe, to turn on the notification bell, and comment down below if you are going to find this amazing tutorial helpful. And guys, without wasting much of our time, you know how we do it here. Let's go. I want you to see this class as a Premi 2 class. So if you're in this class, you are in Premi 2. What did I say? You are in Premi 2. Don't tell me you've graduated to DSS, so we are still in Premi class and Premi 2 to be precise. So now the first thing I want you to do is to go to your Google Calendar. And how can you navigate your Google Calendar? Go to your Chrome. That's why I said Premi 2. Nobody should come and abuse me here. Premi 2. Yes, if you're watching this video, you're in Premi 2. So you come to your Chrome here. Can you see these three dots, Google Apps? You click on it. Then you come to this calendar. Yes, that's calendar. And that's how we are going to be doing what's managing our calendar. So now the first thing you want to do, this is a fresh calendar. And it is can you see the time zone, GMT plus 00. See, you don't even want to start working on your calendar like this. The first thing you want to do is to actually come to these settings. That's the first thing. You come to settings. Let's allow it load. Then you come to primary time zone. Can you see the time zone that is showing us like GMT plus 00 is a normal coordinated universal time, and I'm in Nigeria, and my time zone is GMT plus 1, and this one is telling me GMT plus 00. So I'm going to scroll down and come here. Where is Nigeria? Can you see West African Standard Time, Lagos? That is me. If you are in UK, you choose your UK time. There is nothing like shebi Nigeria is plus one, let me choose UK to is the same thing. It is not the same thing o, because when the time zone change you will not know. So don't even find trouble for yourself. Just choose this Lagos. If you are in South Africa, just search for South Africans here. Let's see if we can see. I think they call it Cape Town. South Africans should be around like let's see. I'm going to scroll down. This one is Lisbon, Berlin, Madrid. Let's see if we can see. Can you see South African Standard Time? So you choose it. Choose whatever your country. So now I'm going to go back and choose plus one, Lagos, Nigeria. Now I'm going to do what? I think it is even saved already. So I'm going to go back. Let's go back. Can you see what we have now? GMT plus 01. This is the right time zone of my country, Nigeria. Am I communicating? Now, when a client hire you and they want you to manage their calendar, the first thing they will do is to give you access to their calendar. And how will they give you access to their calendar? Because some people ask you, like, how can I give you access to my calendar? I don't even know. So I will first teach you how to teach them how to give you access to their calendar. So the first thing we're actually going to do is they will come here. You see their name here. This is my name. You click the three hamburger here. You click on settings and sharing. After that, you actually scroll down and you click on add people and group. Can you see add people and group? So if I want someone to have access to this now, I'm actually going to come here and click on, I'm going to type Wumi Talks Creative. Let's assume that is the Gmail of the person I want to have access to my calendar. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to click on send. Before I see permission, see all events details, make changes to events, make changes and manage sharing, see only free busy schedule. If they want you to actually manage their calendar effectively, they should give you make changes and manage sharing. It is very important, or make changes to events. So whatever, let's just choose make changes and manage sharing. Then we're going to click on send. Now, Women Talks Creative should actually have access to the calendar now, and I'm going to bring in that calendar in for you guys. Now, I've pulled up Wumi Talks creative email, which means that if your client have shared you access to their calendar, you are going to receive this email like, "Hello, Wumi Talks. We are writing to let you know that Kevsara has given you access to manage events and sharing settings for the Google Calendar. So what I'm going to do now is add this calendar." That's what you're going to click once your clients give you access to their calendar. And when you click on add this calendar, this is what you are going to see. Can you see it's saying add calendar? Oh, Labika Sarah Gmail. You click on add. Yes, and can you see we are now seeing two calendars. This is actually three because I shared one before, so I'm actually going to remove one. So now we have this one and we have my own. Can you see now you have access to two calendars? If you want to just have access to one, like you want to see very well, see, you can just uncheck this one and it won't be here. You only see your own. But if you want to see the other person's um calendar as well, then you just toggle this on this Ola because you just toggle and then you're going to see the two calendar and you can actually come here and start doing what and start scheduling meetings on behalf of the person. Now, how do we schedule meetings? How do we manage calendar? The first thing I actually share with you guys is how to gain access to that person's calendar. Now you've gotten access to the person's calendar, then how do we go about it? Now that you have access to that person calendar, if you don't want any confusion for yourself, just uncheck your own calendar and only come to this person calendar and schedule any meetings that you want to schedule for the client. But I don't want us to come in this direction. What I actually show you now is just how to have access to the person calendar. But in a situation whereby your client did not give you access to their calendar, they just want you to be the one to schedule the meetings. I'm going to be using our own personal calendar so that you people can understand. You guys get. So now let's come back to our own calendar. Don't get confused. The only thing I just shared with you, like I said, is just access to the person calendar because there's some situation whereby your client will not give you access to their calendar. They will just want you to manage the access from your end, like send them the invite. So now how do we go about this? For this class, let's assume that our client is from New York, United States. Like your client is from United States, and your client is saying, "Oh, Miriam, I want you to schedule a meeting for me for 4 p.m. Myself and John were actually meeting." So there are the first thing you need to get from your client, I'm going to pull up my paper now, is to get to know the purpose of the meeting. The purpose of the meeting. For example, let's say the meeting is maybe they didn't tell you what the meeting is, but you already know that, oh, okay, schedule meeting with me and John. Let's say the name of your client is Emily and your client wants to meet with John. What time? 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. What else do you think you need? You need John's email. You need what? You need John's email. So you already know your client's email, so you don't even ask for your client's email, but you need John's email. Your client will be able to provide that. This will actually give you an overview of the type of question you should ask your client when they are sharing, like when they are giving you a task. So now, what we are actually going to do is we are actually going to come here. We're actually going to click on create event. That's the first thing. We want so now I don't want you to miss any step. Hard title. What is the purpose of this meeting? You don't know, but you can just say Emily. You can just say Emily and John, whatever. What date do they want to meet? Let's say 22, that's on Thursday from 4 p.m., right? So we are going to come here and click on 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Guys, there's something I actually want you to understand. You know that this calendar is set for Nigerians, like the Nigerian time zone, and your client is in New York, which means that the calendar invite needs to be 4 p.m. Eastern time and not 4 p.m. Nigerian time. Now, how do you know your client's time zone? That's the first thing you want to do. So I want you to head over to Google and search for what is New York time zone. I want you to search for that first. And let's see, it's saying Eastern Daylight GMT minus 4. We now know that, okay, the time zone for New York, United States, is GMT minus 4. Then we'll go back to our calendar. We've selected the date, May 22, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Then we're actually going to go to the time zone. That is very, very important. Do not ever, ever in your life forget the time zone. Then come to this event start time. Let's click on it. Then you are actually going to look for -4 New York, -4 New York. We have several -4, but ensure that you choose -4 New York. So now let's search for it. -4 New York. Can you see? This is New York, and we click on what? Okay. So now we've select the date. the time, the time zone. Like I'm scheduling this meeting for 4 p.m. Eastern time, New York time. Do you get? Now the next thing you want to do is to come here, add Google Meet video conferencing. When you click on add meeting, it means that this is the link that the client John will click whenever they want to join the meeting. Add location. You don't need location. Why? Because this is a virtual meeting, not what's it called? Not a physical meeting. Now, notification. How do you want people to get notification? Notification 30 minutes. You can say notification via email. Add another notification, email, let's say 10 minutes. Add another notification. You can just leave that one as normal notification that it will just pop up on their phone. So now we've scheduled notification for 30 minutes, 10 minutes, and another, let's say this one for 5 minutes, which means that both participants will actually receive email notification that this meeting is starting in 30 minutes time, this meeting is starting in 10 minutes time. So you want to ensure that you set a reminder for your clients. And the next thing is to come here and add guests. Add guests. Who are the guests that you are adding? You are adding your clients. You are adding your clients, you are adding John. So you can add as many as possible here. And you're going to see yourself as the organizer, and you're going to see this email now. So now what we are going to do next is, you see this add description. If you know the purpose of the meeting, then you can actually come here and add description. Am I communicating? So you had the description. If you want to attach any document, you actually come here, click on add Google Drive attachment and upload it. For the description, you can even say the purpose of the meeting is to discuss about the annual event. If you know it, if you don't know it, you can just leave it blank. Then you click on what? You click on save. Then it's going to say, would you like to send invitation email to Google Calendar guests? Then you click on send. If not, maybe there's a mistake or something, you click on back to editing. If there's no mistake, you click on save. Then you click on what? You click on send. Now, how does this look like on my own calendar? Remember, we scheduled the meeting for May 22. Now, it is showing as 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. here. Do you guys know why it is showing as 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Nigerian time? It is showing like that because 9 p.m. Nigerian time is 4 p.m. Eastern time. It's 4 p.m. New York time. So now I'm going to be showing you what it looks like on the client end. Can you see? It's showing as 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. That is why it is important never ever to forget what the time zone. If you select the time zone, you don't have to keep racking your brain like, what time will it now be? Some of you, what you are doing is, okay, what will 4 p.m. be in Nigeria? You will now schedule it according. No, that is not how it works. Ensure that you use what? You use the time zone. That is very, very important, and don't ever forget that. Now, the next thing I actually want to teach you guys now is that, for example, let's assume that John now, let's say your clients, let me use that as an example, actually have another event. Let's say your client actually ask you like, okay, you know what? I actually want to go for a dinner. This is another one entirely, because apart from the fact that you can schedule meeting with your client, you should also use that to do what? Um, you can also use that to schedule appointments for your client. Now, what does scheduling of appointment means? For example, now your client wants to go to a restaurant, and your client is telling you that, oh, you know what, Miriam, I want you to book a restaurant reservation for me for 5:30 p.m. on Thursday. The first thing you want to come and do is to come and check the calendar, his calendar, and you're like, okay, you have a meeting 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and you want me to schedule a restaurant reservation for you for 5:30 p.m. The first thing you want to do is to calculate the distance from his house to the restaurant. And I'm going to use a typical example. I know I've said this before in my Google Map class, but I'm going to show you. For example, now for the sake of this class, let's assume that the address of our client is 1720 South Michigan Avenue, 1418, Chicago, Illinois. Let's say 60616. This is actually a real address, a full address. So now the next thing I want to do is to check the name of the restaurant. Okay, maybe your client have given you the name of the restaurant, like, okay, this is the restaurant that I want to go to. I want you to book a reservation for me. So for the sake of this class, let's assume that this is the restaurant that your client wants to go, the word restaurant. So the first thing I want to do is to check the address of this restaurant. Let me just scroll down and check for the address of this restaurant. Let's scroll down, let's see. Can you see this is the name, this is the address of the restaurant? So I'm actually going to copy the address like this. I'm going to copy the address and I'm going to go to Google Map. I'm going to just click on map. So now we have two address. This is your client address, and this is your the restaurant address. So now, why do I want to calculate the distance? I want to be sure that once my client is done with is meeting by 5 p.m., will he be able to meet up with this restaurant at 5:30 p.m.? So now I'm going to go to my Google Map. Let's allow it load. So now this is the Google Map for for the sake of this class. So I'm going to first copy my client address. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it on the Google Map, and I'm actually going to click on search. Then once I search for this, what's it called? For this actually was going to show me. And remember, if you actually watch the Google Map class, I said the address will show as red, which means this is my boss address, this is where she lives. Then I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click on direction from here. Like I want to, want you to direct me from this point A to point B. So this is my client address, and I'm going to just drag to order like point A to point B. What is my point B? Can you guys remember? That is the restaurant. I'm going to copy, and I'm actually going to come here. I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to click on what? Click on search. And guys, can you see it? It is saying that if you want to drive from your address to the restaurant, it's 17 minutes, which means that if I'm sure that my client wants to drive, it means that my client can meet up with the 5:30 restaurant. If my client wants to take train, it means that it is 36 minutes, which means he cannot meet up with the 5:30. So you can actually advise your client, like looking at the distance, it is better you actually put your restaurant reservation for 6 p.m. That will give you ample of time to rest before the meeting. After the meeting, I actually go for your restaurant. You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm showing you the practical knowledge. Now that you know that it is 36 minutes, and you've advised your client, like, yes, let's just schedule your reservation for 6 p.m. And your client was like, okay, you know what, let's just schedule it. Now, what you actually want to do right now is to actually go to your calendar. Remember, we're actually using our calendar for this class. So I'm actually going to go here, click on create event. Then I'm going to come to my title and click on and have the title as restaurant reservations at Wade Restaurant. What date? Do not forget is to actually do what? It is May 22. What time? 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. What did I say you guys should not forget? The time zone is very, very important. Then come here and click on -4. Just for the sake of the class. Do not forget what the time zone. Do not forget the time zone. So I'm going to search for -4, New York. Let me search -4. Yes, then I'll click on OK, because we're actually using United States, New York as an example. So now the next thing you want to do is to do what? Is to add guests. Do not forget to add guests. Then we are going to add your client's email. Why are we adding our client's email? Because let's assume that he didn't give us access to his email. If he give us access, then we can just go to his email and just add it there like that. You get? And once he give you access, you don't need all this time zone of a thing, because it's automatically set to his own time zone. But if you are using your calendar, that is when you need to set the time zone. And now the next thing that is very important is you can remove this join with Google Meet, because it is not a meeting, it is a location. That is where you need to do what? To add location. Now, what is the location of this restaurant? So I'm actually going to copy this. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste the location here. I'm going to paste the location. Now, add description or Google Drive. This is where your attention to details come into play. For example, if you've called the restaurant now, the restaurant actually tell you that, you know what, um, this is your confirmation number, this is your code number, blah, blah, blah. You want to add everything here. And what are the things you need to add here? Since you know that your client is actually going to a physical location, the first thing you want to do is to add the website, to add the restaurant phone number, to add reservation code, so that when your client gets there, if they ask her what is your reservation code, your clients can just come here and see all the information. If there is any other details, maybe no slippers is allowed, all the rules, no slippers is allowed, just put as much information as possible. And if they actually give you like a document, you can just click on add Google Drive attachment and just upload the document, and you click on what? You click on save, and you click on send. Now here it is showing as 11 p.m. Nigerian time. Why? Because we're actually using Nigerian calendar, which is your calendar. If you actually check the client's email, this is what we actually the client's calendar, this is what is actually going to show. May 22. One moment. Did I? It means there's this is May 22. Oh, I forgot to add what's it called? The guest. That's why it is not showing. Yes, I forgot to add the guest. I think I did. Then why is it not showing? I did. I did add the guest. Let me just come back here and refresh this. Maybe I just need to refresh. Maybe I just need to refresh. Let's refresh our calendar. Let's refresh our calendar. Yes, we have it. Oh my god, I almost went mad. So, can you see it is showing as 6 p.m. here? And if your client actually click on the calendar, can you see this is the name of the restaurant, this is the address, the website, the phone number, the reservation code, everything is actually there. So, as an executive assistant, you need to understand how the meeting works, how to calculate distance from one place to another, so that you don't double book your clients. You need to think like them, like, okay, before let's assume that your client even want to have another meeting. You don't want to book another meeting for 5 p.m. You want to ensure that maybe there's 10 minutes break, unless your client say, you know what, just shall do it for 5 p.m. So it is very, very important that you do not forget this. Am I communicating? And last but not the least that I'm going to be showing you guys is how to set a reminder for your client. For example, let's say your client says, you know what, Miriam, I actually want you to set a reminder for me on June 23 about my friend's birthday. This is a reminder. This is not a meeting. Your client is not going anywhere. Your client just wants you to set a reminder for her. So what you are going to do is come here, click on create event. They're actually going to come here and say John's birthday. For this one, you just need to select the date, nothing serious. Let's say this is 23. You don't need time, you don't need anything. You just click on this all day, you check it. Then you do what? You come here, add guest, add your client's email, and you do what? You click on save, send. Can you see? This is the reminder, which means if your clients log into a calendar or his calendar is going to see it at the top on 23, like, oh, today is John's birthday. And I'm actually going to be showing you the email, the calendar as well. You see, we're actually comparing so that people can understand. Can you see John's birthday? He's not blocking anything here. It is just a reminder at the top. And that is it for today's video, because as a virtual assistant, your job is not just to book meetings, it is to manage their time like a pro. When you handle the calendar well, your CEO will actually trust you with more jobs. So if this video helped you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next powerful tutorial. You're welcome, and bye-bye.